Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk about a movie I just recently saw. I literally just watched this, The Five Bloods. It's about five soldiers who were fought for the country in Vietnam, and happened to stumble across some gold in the jungle, and they promised to, you know, they buried it, and they promised to come back to the states and kind of give us our reparations, the black people, the reparations from the gold. And years later, they're all older, and only four of them survived. Spoiler alert. Not really spoiler alert, I'm joking, but four of them survived, and they plan to fly back to Vietnam and go to the jungle and retrieve that gold and spread the wealth. That's pretty much the plot in a nutshell. But what it's really about is Spike Lee's new movie as well. I want to say that as well. It's on Netflix if you haven't watched it already. However, what it's really about is PTSD in time and war. And how colonialism has affected not just black people in particular, but the French and Vietnam themselves. Spike Lee, uh, to me, he has a spotty. He has a lot of classics, well, not a lot of classics, but he has classics. He's a beast. He's a fucking master of his craft. But he does have a spotty resume for me as of lately, as of like for the past 10 years or so. I did like Black Klansman. I did dig that quite a bit. I'm really happy. Black Klansman was solid, and I feel like The Five Bloods is almost like a mix of what the movies I haven't liked as of late, but also it's still so. His work is always relevant. He's always on. He's always on time. He's always talking about this stuff. Like before Black Lives Matter, before everybody, before police was kneeling with us in the streets, Spike was talking this shit. So it's not. Listen, this man. It's not like he's ever behind. It's just the way he executes his message. It's always a little, it's a little dicey for me. This one is kind of jumbled. It balances the, like I said, it balances the PTSD element. It balances the race element. It talks about, it goes over how Vietnam, North and South, how they fought one another, but also how they bonded over this war from America, and then it talks about how black people fought for this country and still was treated like dog shit when they came back. So it really touched upon those things, and it would, and Spike, what he loves to do, especially when he talks about this kind of stuff, is he likes to have old clips, old footage, and just old footage is just raw with oh god, what's that? Whoever does the score for his movies, Terrence Blanchard, I think is how you say it. I fucking butchered that, but anyway, Terrence, whatever his name is, I can't pronounce his last name. Does a fantastic score, like a jazz kind of feel, but it's also intense as well. Um, really sets the mood, really sets the tone for like, teaching you about, tying what used to happen versus what's still happening, what's current. And I just feel like, yeah, I feel like The Five Bloods was very timely. And even though usually where he, when the movie jumps all over the place the way this does, it really turns me off. But I gotta admit that all of it came together and all of it made sense. Even the stranger, uh, artsier parts, it still just made sense. It made a lot of sense to me, and it worked for me personally. I think Spike has done a hell of a job with this film. Um, the performances all throughout is solid. The cinematography is just gorgeous. I mean, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're sweating with them. You feel like you're getting bit by the mosquitoes and all that good stuff. And like he has that element. He has that the environment. Just you feel like you're living there. And Spike does a hell of a job with that. Um, the sound, the editing. Uh, he always has interesting editing choices. So, yeah. Editing is solid too. So that's all throughout. Chadwick Boseman, he's in the preview quite a bit, but in the movie he's actually not playing. He doesn't really have that big of a role. However, his performance is such a poignancy to his performance and such a, excuse me, such a strength to it that it his presence is felt throughout the movie. Even when he's not on screen, they talk about his character so much you feel like you understand of how the significance and how powerful that character really resonated. Delroy Lindo plays the lead, and his character suffers the most. Was closest to Chadwick Boseman's character, and wears the MAGA hats. He's rocking the make America great again. Wants to protect his money, whatever money he has left, and yeah, it's a very very interesting take. Very interesting take, and I'm surprised Spike would have a character like that, especially a black man like that. But I can't believe I'm gonna say this, and he's easily my favorite performance. He's the most complicated character who goes through the biggest arc in the movie, and it's so understandable his point of view. I can't help but to understand. Oftentimes, it's like when you go back and forth on a character, that's a good sign of an actor really knowing his role, but also good sign of the writing being complicated and you can't paint it black and white, and nothing in this world is black and white, but still to make that kind of complication with something that's already so complex really elevated the movie for me. Sorry I'm ranting, but I just saw this movie and I thought it was pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I give it a low 8 out of 10, or fuck it, you know what, I'll just give it an 8 out of 10, man. It's solid. Spike, to me, it's a solid home run. It's a solid home run, man. He hit out the field. I don't know, I don't know how else he would have told this story, and I think it's so timely. That Spike is most of the time anyway. He's always timely, but this one in particular, the music, the footage, the combination of the message of the story, the camaraderie between the characters, and tying in Vietnam, the French, and our story all together, and how colonialism really really screwed us over, and how it still resonates today, and how we bounce back from it. And you can see that now with the protests. You can see that now with the world understanding of George Floyd, and you can see that with different races trying to understand our perspective, and then in return we're probably going to be more understanding of theirs. It's just a very timely movie, very significant, very poignant, just raw and strong. Yeah, it's 8 out of 10, man. I definitely encourage you guys to watch it. I'm sorry I've been talking for almost 8 fucking minutes. I apologize, but please like, share, and subscribe, and please watch that movie, man. It's good as hell on Netflix.